These days we are in the heart of the season of Lent. The word Lent comes from an old Anglo-Saxon word meaning to lengthen or spring, the lengthening of days. In the Northern Hemisphere, of course, the season of Lent coincides with springtime. It's different for us here in the South. When we move into the season of Lent, we're just beginning to notice the change of the colour on the trees. We are moving into autumn, which in many ways is seen to be a season of decline. We know that winter, the trees that are so alive now look as though they are dead. Some would say that the seasons of the church are much more suited to the Northern Hemisphere. For example, the Incarnation at Christmas is celebrated when the light is least in the Northern Hemisphere. But I like our Southern Hemisphere arrangement of the seasons of nature and the church's seasons. Imagine for a moment Adam and Eve at the first autumn. They lived in paradise, and all of a sudden it would have seemed to them that everything that they knew and loved that surrounded them was dying. They no doubt said to each other, "There's something wrong." And then as it moved more into winter, the death was even more prevalent. The beautiful trees were now just what looked like dead branches. But move on a few months too, and imagine their surprise at the first springtime. Here were the dead branches that in the last few weeks they had become familiar with, new shoots of green coming from what looked to be dead. A springtime was happening, the first spring. In many ways, Lent repeats this pattern of springtime, which is the pattern of the Incarnation. When God was born in Jesus, when God became human in Jesus Christ, this happened not in the palace on the slopes of the mountain, not even to the wealthy and well-known family, but to a poor and unknown family in the most humble of places, a stable perhaps made for animals. And so God came into human existence at its lowest point. And so we see Lent happening for us at what could be a low point. This is the pattern in our own lives. The place where we most experience God is the place of our greatest need, the parts of our life that look like death and struggle. Why is this the case? Why is it that the cross is such a central sign for us as Christians? And that is because in the place of our greatest struggle, this is where we most need God, and therefore God is able to enter our lives most fully. This is the point of our greatest capacity for the God who loves us and is waiting for every opportunity to enter our lives fully. In this Lent, let's invite him to that place of greatest struggle in our lives.